Good day, everybody. Tim from Timber Visions here. And today I wanted to give a true review on the Kioti CS2520. So I've had this tractor for over a year now. And the first 9 months I owned it, I didn't have the third function installed. But I did have the bucket, forks, and a ballast box for the back when I first got it. And then the spring, I got the stump grinder and the tiller. So I've utilized it a lot more since I've gotten those attachments. I always had the grapple, but I didn't have the third function, so it was pretty much useless at that point. But I have a few things that I want to talk about as far as pros and cons. So the first one is the size. So this is a subcompact tractor, and it's very small, and because of that, it fits in very tight spaces. I believe it's only 48 inches wide. It is longer, but it will get through most gates that are like double doored gates. It'll fit through there. It will fit right down the sidewalk in our city. All sidewalks are 4 foot wide, so it fits perfectly down the sidewalk. And it fits in my garage if I have the ROPS folded down. So the lift capacity on this particular tractor is just over 1,000 at the pins, meaning right down here. It can lift 1,060 pounds to full height. So obviously, out further it can lift it, but it can't lift it to full height. You get most of your lifting power at the bottom of the lift. I had done a video on whether or not it could lift up an IBC tote full of firewood, and it will not, at least not with the forks that I have. I have 4 foot forks, which adds a little bit more weight. I had maybe some shorter ladder forks that don't have a big headache rack on the back. I might be able to pick one up, but it would still be really sketchy. I know when I lifted it, I had it lifted up half full, filled it up, and as I was filling it, you could see on the video it was sinking down, but it was still up off the ground. When I went to climb on, it literally tipped because I was just on the front two tires. The back tires were not touching basically. It tipped it to the side, and the toad actually stopped me from rolling all the way over. I got it leveled back out, had to put it in 4-wheel drive to even move. But basically all that weight was on my front axle, not the proper way to run a tractor. So not suggested at all. But I was proving a point that if you're buying this tractor to move IBC totes full of firewood, don't buy this tractor. It's not big enough. You need a larger frame. The next frame up would probably do it. The tires are taller, it's wider, it's heavier, and the lift capacity of that particular loader is higher. You know, it's like 1,200, 1,500, something like that. Don't quote me on that, but it's more than this one. Now, in the subcompact realm, Kioti is one of the highest for lift capacity. So it does very well. I can't complain about that. It is actually kind of a pro of this particular brand and this model in the subcompact range. If you're wanting to lift big, heavy stuff, you live on an acreage, you have an outbuilding where 7-foot doors are not your limitations like I have, I would go with a larger one. That's what I would suggest. Another thing is the weight of the tractor. So Kioti And Mahindra is another one that are heavier than your John Deere's and your Kubotas. And they have metal hoods instead of plastic. And I use that metal to put my monitor for my rear camera. I use magnets to hold it on here. You got rubber coating on them so it doesn't scratch up the paint. Not that it really matters, it is a tractor, but I wanted to keep it nice. So it does not scratch the paint, but I can put magnets up here. Back here too, all metal. It's metal. There's no plastic body on this. Steering wheel's plastic. This little instrument panel shroud, plastic. You know, plastic here. I mean, there's plastic on it, but your main body is metal. So let's talk a little bit about extras with this model, the CS2520. I'll bring you in a little closer here. So one of the first extras is a rubber floorboard. It's got a little rubber pad here. A lot of the other models do not have that. You can get them, but they cost extra, and this comes with it. Another thing is cruise control. This model comes with cruise control, which I rarely use, but it is an option. It comes with the blinkers, horn, has tilt for the steering, which is a handy thing. Handy thing for a big guy like me. So it will tilt however you want. You know, so you could put it all the way back here when you're getting in and out. When you get in, you lock it down. Handy thing to have. Another nice thing is your loader controls are right here on the fender. They're not up here near the loader. They don't attach to the loader, they stay here. That's another upgrade for this particular model. So that is one of the things that sold me on this model also. If I would have went to the next frame size up, it would have been attached over here, and then it has a long stick that comes out. I like having it here on the fender. It's way more convenient, easy to hold that way. Another thing that this model has, and I don't know that Kioti sells them without it, is the skid steer quick attach for your attachments. So if you have a small tractor, you're going to want to change attachments. I mean, that's if you're just moving dirt only, you probably shouldn't get a tractor. But yeah, I can switch to the bucket, the grapple, the forks. You know, you can get all different kinds of attachments for the front of these. But that's what I have so far is the bucket, forks, and the grapple. And the grapple stays on most of the time. It's what I use the most. One thing that this model does not have that I put on myself was a bucket level indicator. I wish it would have came standard on it. I don't see any reason why you would have a loader without a bucket level indicator. When you're looking over the hood, I mean, yeah, they do kind of come down a little bit, but it's hard to see the front edge of your bucket when you're up in the operator station. And this just is able to tell you when this bend is right here that the front leading edge of the bucket is flat, and it works really well for knowing when you're skimming off dirt or scooping snow or whatever, whether or not your bucket is level. I have a video on this. I'll put a card for it up in this corner right up here. Will this tractor do everything? Certainly not. It has its limitations. It is a small tractor. There's a lot of times I wish I had a bigger one, but there's a lot of times I'm glad I have a smaller one. You can do everything with a smaller tractor that you can with a bigger one. It just takes more time. So moving snow, you got a 4-foot bucket. Yes, I have to back up and take more swipes to move that snow. But I can also go down the sidewalk. If I have the wider bucket and bigger tractor, I can't go down the sidewalk with it. So that's kind of the payoff to me. That, and it's smaller, so it fits in the tighter spaces. So that's another payback for the smallness for me personally. Now, if you're not doing any sidewalks, if you're not going in any small spaces, I would recommend going larger. You have more lift capacity. You are more stable. But it all depends on your situation and what you want out of your tractor. So, if I could do it over, I would probably still buy this tractor. I've been very happy with it so far. It's only been a year, and I have, I don't know, close to 70 hours on it. I don't put as many hours as a lot of other guys. I know a lot of other guys put hundreds of hours a year on their tractor, but I don't bush hog with it. I'm not out doing huge fields. I use it for the small projects. I take it, I do the job, and I trailer it to where I'm going. And so I don't have all those hours just driving it, basically. So, but the time that I have put in on this, I've used it. I've pushed the limits. And I've found the limits. It can't lift everything. It can't push everything, but it can lift a lot, and it can push a lot, more than I expected it to. So, is this a good tractor? Yes. Would I recommend it? Yes. But you also have to look at what's available in your area and your dealerships that are near you, and how far you're willing to drive to your dealership. Here in Northwest Iowa, there are John Deere dealerships everywhere. I mean, you can't hardly swing a dead cat without hitting one around here. But the John Deere tractors are very capable, very nice tractors. But you're paying way more than you pay for one of these. And I can do a lot of things better than the John Deere can, in my opinion. But don't get me wrong, John Deere's are great tractors, and Kubotas are great tractors too. They're very nice tractors, well refined, and there's quite a great dealership network for them as well. The thing about John Deere in our area is they sell big tractors to farmers. They do have compacts, subcompacts on the lot, but that's not who they're selling tractors to majority of the time. Majority of the time they're selling large tractors to farmers who plant corn and beans and harvest corn and beans, because that's a big thing in our area. So my dealer is about an hour away, and it's the closest Kioti dealer in our area. There's not a lot of Kioti dealers out there. But if you have a Kioti dealer near you, I would urge you to just go and check them out. The Kioti and the John Deere both have separate pedals for forward and reverse, which I prefer. I think Kubota has really dropped the ball by having their treadle pedal. I think that it's not safe, in my opinion, to have that rocker pedal. And I've driven the Kubotas, and when you go and step on the pedal to go, it's like there's a delay, and then it lurches forward. Where with this, when I press on it slightly starts to go. I don't know what it is. If it's in the pedal or just in the transmission. The Kubota that I have used, it like lurches. So you have to be really, really slow on the pedal, and then you're on a pedal that rocks both ways. I don't care for it. I think that if they had regular pedals like this with one pedal for each forward and reverse, I probably would have bought a Kubota, just because there's closer dealers to me and a larger selection of tractors to choose from. But that pedal just turned me off. I didn't want it. So Kubota, you might want to consider, if you're watching this, which I doubt you are. But if you're watching this, get rid of that treadle pedal. Just be done with it. It's not. It's not a selling point, in my opinion. So hopefully this gives you some insight in helping you make a decision on which type of tractor you want to go with. The big three, I think, are, you can't go wrong. Any of them, I think you can't go wrong. But for me, this was the way to go, and I'm very happy with my choice to buy this tractor. So I want to thank everybody for stopping in today and watching this video. Until next time, be safe, brothers and sisters.